Well, hello there and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for checking out this video. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. I think it's going to be even better because what we're going to do now is doing something crazy. We're gonna take a Mustang and we're gonna take the engine out of that, pop it up, plop it back in the middle of the car and turn it into a mid-engine Ford Mustang. Why would we do something crazy like that? What's wrong with you? Well, Corvette did it with his C8, so now kind of Ford wants to get in on this market and create their own mid-engine Mustang. That's what we're going to explore today, so let's jump into the video and see how this is going to turn out. First things first, we need to whip out the pen and paper, and I'm of course using my beloved Bic pen right here. I'm going to use a couple of markers, maybe 2 or 3. Purpose of this sketch is to get the proportions down, get the idea down. First of all, sketch the original S550 front engine, of course, get those proportions down, and I'm using boxes to slide around. So the middle box here, which is the greenhouse, that box is going to be pushed forward in the second sketch that I'm going to do down below. It's going to be a very loose sketch and a very quick sketch to get the idea of a mid-engine Ford Mustang down, and kind of the lines that I want to change digitally when we jump into Photoshop, get that down on paper first. And right here I'm using chroma markers. These are alcohol-based markers. If you're interested in checking them out yourself, you can go down in the description and check them out in my Amazon store. I really like them. They blend really well even here on regular cheap print paper, and that's all I care about. Just adding some tiny details to the wheels now and some shading because I want to have that deep dish wheel. So that means that the spokes that are on top, that are facing down onto the ground, it needs to be a little bit darker than the ones that are facing up, that are the lower spokes of the wheels. So right now we're jumping into sketching the mid-engine version of this just to get an idea. It's not going to be anything clean. I'm not going to spend too much time on this sketch right here. This is just to fire up my brain to the concept of a mid-engine Mustang before jumping into Photoshop. Alright, so this is the base that we're going to be using for this modification, turning this into a mid-engine Ford Mustang. This is going to be extremely exciting to see how this is going to turn out. So first of all, what we need to do, obviously, is to think about the package of this Ford Mustang here. The package of this is a 2-door coupe front engine. So that means that the hood obviously has to be longer than the rear. The rear doesn't really matter. All that's down there is just a trunk. But since we're moving the engine, we're taking it, popping it up from here, moving it all the way down here. That means that this part in the front becomes kind of less important when it comes to space, because we need more space in the back now. So what does that mean for the sketch itself? It means, first of all, the first thing we got to do is to cut this whole thing, cut the whole greenhouse right here, this section, and move that this way. So I want the A-pillar. You see the A-pillar right here? This right here is the A-pillar of the greenhouse. I want that to be almost above the front wheel. Maybe not to this point, maybe not all the way stretched forward that way, but somewhere around here where the front axle starts. That's where I want the new A-pillar to go down and meet the rest of the body like that. That means that the C-pillar obviously is also going to be moved forward this way, and it gives us the space to smack down a V8 in the middle of the car. Now, that's just the first change. We need to do a bunch of other changes to the car. If you have a mid-engine rear engine car, you need to figure out the cooling around the car. So if you look at any mid-engine or rear engine car, they always have some sort of air intake in this part right here. If you look at a McLaren 720S, they don't have that because they managed to add the air intake in between the body of the car and the door. So there's an air intake right here. And that, I think the flow goes from the front somewhere like that. It's McLaren engineering. I don't really know how to explain it. But this is not a McLaren, this is a Ford. we're gonna keep it a little bit more simple. So what I'm gonna do is use these lines that we already have here. We have this sharp shoulder line right here, and we have this sharp line down there. What I'm gonna do is take these lines and lead them into an air intake right here. I think that's gonna look pretty good. And then I also wanna have an air intake right behind the window. So something in the C-pillar going on right here. That's going to be an additional air intake, and maybe play around with the lines so that this line right here connects to the air intake down there. Obviously, this is going to be somewhere around this area because the whole greenhouse, as I said, is going to be moving forward. And we have cats playing down there again. So that's the background noise as usual. You should be used to that by now. Another thing I want to change is the rear fender. I want to make that more muscular. That means that I want to raise this line here and have it be a really strong hip, because you have the power plant in the back. So visually, I want that to be recognized from the outside, not just by moving the greenhouse forward, but I don't want this line to be this flat as it is on the front engine version. Because with the power plant in the back, the power is in the back, goes to the rear wheels. I want to have that visualized as you need to have the rear part of the car being more muscular, since that's where the power and the thrust of the car is going to come from. So that needs to have a different design than if we have a front engine car. And the rear, I want to redesign the rear, but keep it very Mustang and very close to this. Maybe add some lines that goes like this, have an air outlet there. Maybe add something behind the rear wheels here, or on the rear fender, to just add some graphical elements to this car. And also, of course, change these wheels. I'm not a huge fan of chrome wheels. These are not chrome wheels. I think these are polished aluminum or aluminium, which is the proper way to say it. I don't like this finish on the wheels. What I do like though, the wheels I really love are the GT350R wheels. To me, they just suit the Mustang very well because they're high-tech, being carbon fiber, but the styling itself is very simple. So I want to have something like that, something darker, maybe even black wheels. Another thing I want to change is lowering this hood right here. So we don't need to have this bump here because there's no engine. So we might lower it just a little bit like this and remove this part here. That's about it. Let's get to work and let's move the engine from the front to the middle of the car. The 6th generation Ford Mustang was introduced on my birthday on December 5th, 2013. And it had 3 major changes to it compared to any previous generation Mustangs. The first one being that this had an independent rear suspension. That's something that was a first for any Mustang. The second big change was that it came with an optional 4-cylinder engine, which you could imagine is a big deal to put in a Mustang, which is supposed to be a muscle car with a V8 or at least a V6, but it proved to sell pretty well over time. The third change is that this was the first Mustang to be marketed and sold globally, with factory-produced right-hand drive models being produced in addition to the left-hand drive models. Development of the 2015 Mustang, codenamed S550, began just shortly after the updated 2010 model Mustang went on sale. In December of 2010, an exterior design theme proposal by Kemal Kuric from Ford's Germany design studios was selected by design management. Kuric, also responsible for the 2011 Ford Focus and the 2014 Mondeo Fusion, relocated to Ford's design studios in Dearborn in January of 2011. During mid-stage development, Kuric's original design proposal was eventually rejected by Ford execs. After reviewing 3 different exterior proposals, A, B, and C, in design clinics in 2012, the final exterior design, Theme A, was approved by Ford management, with the final design freeze occurring in December of 2012, and this was only 20 months ahead of originally scheduled August 2014 production. The first test mules in 2010 Mustang model year bodies were spotted earlier in June 2012, and the first S550 prototypes were built 5 months later, And I actually saw one of these heading north from Miami on I-75 going up to Tampa when I was driving that same stretch through Alligator Alley, and that was kind of cool to see. If you stick around to the end of this video, I'm going to show you the beautiful sketches of Kemal Kuric. I really love his style, and I think you're going to enjoy those sketches. And I was going to show you the sketches for the updated facelift of 2018, which me personally, I really love the updates they made, even though some say that the headlights look sad, but to me, I think they look menacing and they're kind of squinty, more squinty-eyed, and they have a nicer dynamic to them overall. So stick around to the end. I put together a nice slideshow with all of the sketches of both of these models. To me, muscle cars are special. It gives you the opportunity to own a high-performance car, but not spending an insane amount of money on it. I actually used to own a 2014 Mustang GT50, and that was one of the most fun cars I've ever owned. It's a big difference compared to the 200 SX that I owned, which was light like a fly, and the Mustang is obviously more of a cruiser setup, but it obviously has also a lot more power than the 200 SX. Not any turbos in there, it's just natural V8 power. I took it on this fantastic road trip with my brother. He came over from Sweden. I think this was in 2015 maybe. We took it here from, we were down in Miami or Fort Lauderdale then. We took it from Fort Lauderdale up through Tampa, through the South Alabama, through Texas, up to Dallas, over to the East Coast, down again through the Carolinas. And that was a super fun trip. We got to see a lot of different cities and also get a feel for how good of a cruiser car the Mustang really is. One scary thing though, when you're going in through corners, with the solid rear axle, this is not the 2015 onwards model, but when you have this old solid rear axle and you go through a corner and if you hit a bump, you notice that the whole rear end kind of lifts and just moves to the side in high speed. It's kind of scary to drive if you don't know, if you're not expecting that to happen. And that's all thanks to the solid rear axle in the back. But that's all changed now. It's a lot safer to take cornering with the new S550 model, of course. I don't think there is anything better than taking long road trips like that when you have the time and you're spending time with people that you love and you just drive through the country. I'd rather do that any day instead of flying. But I had a lot of fun with that Mustang, and hopefully one day I will own another Mustang. I like these cars. Then the S550 as well. It's grown on me. I didn't like it when it first came out. I thought it looked too weak or too not muscle car themed, but I think that has to do a lot with the globalization of the Mustang. They kind of want to bring it back a little bit, and the S550 was actually based on a concept shown back in 2011, especially the front view. It's called Ford Evo, so I'm going to show it right here. That was the inspiration for the front, and the rear obviously has a lot of inspiration from previous generation Mustangs with the 3 light bars that lights up sequentially when you're hitting the turn signal and so on. So there was not a lot to do with the rear end when it comes to new inspiration. I'm glad they kept it this way with the 3 bars, because that to me is typical Mustang, and it really sets the car apart from every other car out there, especially at night. Well, there we have it, guys. That's the mid-engine Ford Mustang S550. I think this turned out really cool, and I would love to see this out on the street competing with the Corvette C8. One thing that would be the big difference between the C8 and this Mustang is that this Mustang obviously comes with a manual transmission. You could have the paddle if you want to, that could be an option, right, Rosie? But we need a manual transmission in this car. If you like these kind of videos, hit the like button. That really means a lot to me, and it means even more to Rosie down there. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to see more of these redesigned videos. I'm gonna link all of them up here in the corner. I'm the Sketch Monkey. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me today. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Take it easy. How would you like to learn how to sketch any car or product you want? Join thousands of successful students from all around the world in my online class. I'll take you on a journey and walk you through the basics of sketching all the way up to complete renders, both with pen and paper and in Photoshop as well. Click the link below in the description to see what my students have to say about these courses and learn all the details about each specific course. I'll see you there.